All right. So welcome back to the Fearless Over 50 Forum. And I'm so excited for this next session. It's Andi Willis, who is one of our presenting sponsors. And just so you know, these are very limited spots. There's only two, one per day. And being a presenting sponsor has helped me put on this event. So I'm so grateful for your support and for for what you're bringing to the table to help us collectively reach as many women as possible with the message that we have. So,
well, it's my pleasure. This is the audience that I'm in life. It's where I am, and it's I'm just a little behind you, and there's some fabulous nuggets, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. So thank you,
awesome. My
thank you.
pleasure. My pleasure. I'm going to do your official intro. So we give you your street cred, and then we're going to have a really fun conversation. So,
Okay.
Andi is the founder and owner of Good Life Photo Solutions, which is in Smithfield, Virginia now.
Now,
Using her background in nonprofit arts management and a lifetime of organizing, she started her business in 2010. She's driven by a passion to help her clients preserve and protect their family photos, and she became a certified let me get this right, certified personal photo organizer in 2014. Until I did not know there was such a thing. She offers print and digital photo organizing and scanning and video conversion services. Oh my God, you know what? We need to talk about that because I have some VHS tapes. Yeah, please follow up with me. I have some videos that need to be preserved. That's the whole thing. All right. And she strives to create a family legacy collection that's well organized, easy to access, and ready to be enjoyed for generations to come for her clients who are all around the world. And we are connected through a mutual colleague. We have a few different, actually it was through Lisa, right?
Yeah, Lisa Corrado.
Who I mentioned in the last session, because she is taking some women on the Camino as one of her things. Lisa's an incredible friend and dear soul, and a wonderful woman. So yeah, we met a few years ago and we've stayed connected throughout. And you were one of the people I thought about when I was putting this together. So, and
Great.
And the reason is because photos. My God, thousands. I'm like, what? Why? And now I'm paying for extra storage, and I just know, especially in our generation, I know we're going to talk about this, but there's like I have like shelves where, because it used to be that I would take the pictures, take the film, get it developed, sort through, pull out the key photos, I like put them in an album.
Right.
And then there's like this weird hard stop when then all of a sudden everything's just in my phone and I don't know what to do with all those things in my phone. So I'm so excited for our discussion because I think there's a lot of people, a lot of women in both of our places that can really benefit from this. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Before we dive in, first question I always like to ask is, what is something you are incredibly proud of yet rarely get the chance to brag about?
Okay. I'm glad that I had the preview of what the question was, listening to the other speakers. I cheated a little. I'm going to say my stuffing.
Your
I make
stuffing.
really good stuffing. And the way I know it's my grandmother's recipe that really wasn't a recipe, and I didn't learn how to make it before she passed away. And I figured it out. But the reason I know it's good is because my daughter now calls it mom stuffing. She doesn't call it great grandma stuffing. It's mom stuffing.
Nice.
And I figured out this Thanksgiving, my daughter's boyfriend is vegan. I can make it with vegan butter and oat milk, and it tastes just as yummy.
Nice. That is impressive. All right. Yeah. I'm with you, Deborah. Let's give some applause for that. I love stuffing. It's one of my favorite things on the plate.
Yeah. We don't put it in the turkey. It's just, all it really is bread and butter. Lots and lots, an obscene amount of butter.
Yes. That makes everything better. I love it.
Even vegan butter. It's good.
Yeah.
So good.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. I think that's one of those things that people screw up and it always annoys me. So I make my own. I went to a Friendsgiving and then I came home and I made my own thing of stuffing. Because it was like, that was good. And like, I know what I want. Anyway, okay.
I love it.
All right. So tell us how what started your journey? Like, how did you start organizing other people's photos?
Well, when I started my business in 2010, so almost 15 years ago, which is kind of crazy to think about, I was a residential organizer. So I helped
Mhm.
people organize in their closets, in their kitchens, in their bedrooms, wherever they needed it. And one of the things that I kept seeing over and over again was a drawer full of school pictures, a bin shoved under the bed full of photos, albums on the the bookshelf.
Right.
And then when I do some digital organizing for them, I'd find pictures everywhere on their computer, all over their phone.
Yeah.
We'd find SD cards, we'd find hard drives.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I met a person who had organized photos. Let's put it that way.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and most of my clients are in the age room of our demographics that's here today. It's like 40 to 60 women who had kids. They either had a busy job or a busy home life, and it just didn't get done. It
Yeah.
was important to them, it's important, but at that moment, having a kitchen they could function in was higher on their priority list. Having
Right.
a closet where they could find their favorite shoes was on the priority list,
Right.
because it was easy to put those pictures in a drawer, on a phone, on a hard drive, and just
Right.
not think about it. But they
Yeah.
knew in the back of their minds that it was important.
Mhm.
And I've always been the family historian. I've loved all the old family pictures and everything. So when I kind of realized that this was something that people would like help with, um, I jumped in. And in 2018, I stopped doing residential organizing. And now I
Wow.
only do pictures, videos, and
Wow.
scanning and things like that. Um, and I'm busier than ever because we all have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been in situations where it's like, who has all their photos organized? And like one person out of like 300 will raise their hand. I'm like, well, you're not my ideal client,
I know.
but yay on you. That's
That's
fabulous.
right. That's
I
right.
mean, yeah,
Yeah. Tell us in the chat if anyone's got their photos organized. We want to know who you are, and we'll just assume that everybody else is like us or like Julie Tremblay. Bless you.
right.
Got them all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place. And you have too many. I'll be quite
Yeah.
honest. There's not a person who doesn't have more than they need. I went through my grandfather's pictures and got rid of a stack about this big, probably about 100 pictures of his dog, because he had so many pictures of his dog, and it wasn't even a nice dog. I didn't like that dog. And my grandfather's passed. We have pictures of the dog. We don't need 100 other pictures of the dog.
Right. That
I
honestly,
made the
that's the
executive decision for the family. Sarge is
I.
no longer taking over all
That's
the.
right. Well, I think that's the problem with the phone, right? Because we used to, like I was describing, I would take a roll of film, I would take it to the drugstore, I would get it developed, I would throw out the ones that were duplicates or weird or didn't make sense, and I'd keep a select few. But now it's like, let me take
You keep them all. You keep them all.
and my lunch sandwich and like weird shit that like pardon my French, that doesn't make any
Ex-
sense. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. We
yeah.
do it because we can, you know,
Right, right,
and
right.
storage is cheap. $10 a month for Apple for is it 1 or 2 terabytes of space? Do
Oh,
you know how
I'm
much
only at the
space that
99
is? Do you know
cent
how much
plan.
was on my first computer? Like
Right,
265 megabytes or something stupid like that. And now, my phone is like 256 gigs. I mean,
yeah,
it's ridiculous the
ridiculous.
amount of storage we have. So
Yeah,
we just keep filling it up.
yeah. So is that the biggest issue that you see with this? Is the
Well, I think that is a big issue, but I think when everybody that I talk to and when I narrow it down, there's two things that are the major issue. People have guilt that they're not dealing with it. They
oh,
know they need to be good stewards, specifically us as women. We see ourselves as stewards of our
mm,
family memories, our family legacy. And if we're not taking care of them, we feel guilty.
yeah,
But then that comes to my number one thing. I call it the big O,
yeah.
overwhelm. We are
Oh,
all overwhelmed. People don't know where to start. pick up their phone and go, 100,000 pictures. What am I going to, I don't even know where to start with that.
Right.
And so those are the two main things that, that I hear from every single person I talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel it. Audra put something in the chat there, right? It's so convenient. You take over 5 pictures to find the best one, but then you don't delete them. And then you're like,
absolutely.
What do I do with
Absolutely.
it?
And that's how we end up with these big bloated libraries where we can't find our favorite pictures. You can't find those gems, those jewels,
Yeah.
the really precious pictures, because there's still a picture from the 5 pictures from the parking lot when you went to the airport the last time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we do? Help us.
So, the number one thing that I tell everybody, and when I do my initial consultations with people, just, chatting on the phone, like we're chatting now, what do you have? What do you want to do? Da, da, da. One of the number one things I tell people, especially with your digital pictures on your phone, is to back them up.
Okay.
You do nothing else, back them up. Because one, if you're an iPhone user, Apple will tell you they are not a backup service. I have heard stories, it's not happened to any of my clients, thank goodness, but I have heard stories of Apple libraries just going poof and disappearing. And can you imagine that's your only copy?
Yeah.
So
What's that
if
cloud
all of your digital pictures, yeah,
what's that darn cloud thing? Is it not going up there?
Yeah, well, Apple iCloud is a sync service. So what that does is the pictures I take on my phone sync to my computer and they sync to my iPad. And they do live in the cloud, so it is a version, but you want to have at least 3 backups of your pictures.
Oh, okay.
And if you do not consider that as a backup, you have to come up with other options.
Oh,
So there's 2 things I tell people. So there's a couple actionable items you all can take. One is if all your digital pictures are, your most precious ones are on your phone, back up your phone pictures.
yeah.
An easy way to do that is using a software you may already have, like OneDrive, Dropbox. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, you have Amazon Photos. They're all apps that go on your phone, and they all have a option to do a camera upload. And so what that does is it sits there and works in the background of your phone. And when you take a picture, it uploads it to the cloud. I call it a set it and forget it backup, because I'm never going to go to Amazon Photos and organize anything, keyword anything. But I know if something happens, like my phone goes corrupt, iCloud explodes, whatever, I know that I can go there and grab my pictures.
Okay.
And I will tell you, I have them in Amazon Photos, Dropbox, and SmugMug.
Wow.
I'm backup upon backup upon backup.
Of course.
But I don't ever think, well, I need to go look there because maybe this photo's there, not there, because I know it's just a set it and forget it. Right. It makes me feel good.
It's a just in case. Got it.
It's a just in case.
Got it.
If all of your pictures are on your computer, or you have some pictures on the computer, make sure your computer is backed up. So if you have an Apple, using a Mac, using Time Machine, you don't have to buy their fancy Time Machine. You can just get any old external hard drive that's big enough, plug it in, set it up, and on a regular basis, it will back up everything on your computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I just got a brand new laptop and I plugged in my Time Machine, and then, it took hours to upload everything, but in a click of a button, it was up and running and everything was there.
Love it. Love it.
I also suggest to people to use a cloud service like I like Backblaze, because that backs up all the files on your computer. And if you have any external hard drives attached to your computer, because some people don't have room for their libraries on their computers, they're on a hard drive, you can back it up that way, and it'll back up the external hard drives as well. Cool.
All right. Deborah's asking what's it called. I know Julie and I use Carbonite, which is a similar service that you're talking about.
Very similar.
Running, and like $30 a year. Like it.
Yeah. I have it on all of my computers. Okay. So because I want everything, and I have sitting on my desk right now, I have this is like a 16 terabyte hard drive that has all my archived files, like old client files.
Okay.
And I'm currently backing up to it right now, but it is synced to Backblaze. So every couple
Got
months I plug it in, and I
got
know
it.
that I have a copy if that hard drive dies, because they do die.
Yeah. Oh, I have that. I
Yeah.
have them
So you
having
want to
that.
have a
Yeah.
backup. So if
Yeah.
you do nothing else with your pictures, figure out a way to back them up.
Got it.
That's the number
Okay.
one thing.
All right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. And like you, I don't know who said it in here, another thing to worry about. But it's good to, it's one of those
But
things
the great
like,
thing is a lot of these things are kind of set it and forget it. I do find
yeah,
with the apps, you do have to open them every once in a while, because they don't always work in the background. But then you just say, continue, and it sits there and uploads everything that's
yeah,
new. And you know,
yeah,
but I have had clients who've had computers stolen that had all their photos on, no backup anywhere else. They had not gotten to backing them up.
yeah,
People, it used to be you dropped your phone in the toilet, they were in everything. Now
yeah,
phones are a little more waterproof, so that's not such a big deal. But things go
yeah,
corrupt,
yeah,
things break, things get stolen, you have a
yeah,
flood, your
yeah,
house burns down. I mean, and these
yeah.
are your precious memories.
Pardon me.
Yes, it's also the picture of a sandwich from lunch. But if you have a backup, then you can at least go back and tease out those
Right.
precious ones.
Love it. Love it. All right. All right. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. The and then somebody had asked in there, what about printed photos that we have too many of?
So
Yeah.
I say, low hanging fruit, duplicates, triplicates, because we had them. Because when we sent them off to York Photo, they came back, and maybe we were not like Leanne, and we didn't call out the bad ones. We
I
kept
didn't
them
deal with
all.
all of them. I didn't deal
And
with
they're
all of
still in
them.
the envelopes. And because I was going to give them to my mom, but it's now 30 years later, and I still haven't given them to my mom, and half of them are bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's low hanging fruit. So duplicates, triplicates, bad photos, thumb in the middle,
Yeah.
cut off everybody's head. Um, Landscapes, pictures of the middle of Kansas of a cornfield. Is your family going to care about that cornfield that you took while you were driving? Picture while you were driving, so it's not a good picture anyway. The White House. Do we need a picture of the White House with nobody in front of it?
Right.
If your family's post there, that's great. But you know what the White House looks like, right?
Right. Right.
So that's kind of the low hanging fruit to get rid of.
Got it. I love
I
that.
will also make this little caveat. Don't get rid of your negatives. I know they take up a lot of room, but they are the original film. They are your actual originals. So if something happens to the prints, they get water on them, they fade because the paper was bad, the developing was bad, or whatever. You can always go back to the negatives and have new prints made.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And to that point, should we keep the negatives in a different spot than the prints?
I like to keep them together
Okay.
because, that's just my preference. Some
Yeah.
clients I have, will label them so they could be matched up at a later date, but I prefer to keep them together because just in my mind, I don't want to have to go
Right.
look in multiple places. And what if that
Right.
box gets lost? And
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. We had a couple questions come in. One was look at Google Photos. What about Google Photos? Is that
I have mixed feelings about Google Photos because they've changed a lot of things. I believe now that if you don't pay for extra storage, they uh, compress your photos, because you want to keep the biggest, best version of your photos, right? And that is why social media is not a place to store your photos. It's a place to share them. I can upload a picture to Facebook, download it immediately. It strips the file name, it strips the date, and it makes it about 10 times smaller.
Oh.
So, it just depends. I mean, if you're paying for Apple Photos, like, sorry, not Apple Photos, Google Photos, I have people that love it. It's just not my favorite tool.
Okay. Just know the parameters. That's a great,
Yeah.
know the
I mean,
thing.
I have a client who has an iPhone, but for personal reasons, he won't let me access it, which is fine. He's like a financial advisor, and it's like it's not HIPAA, but whatever that rule is for financial advisors. So
Yeah.
he does upload everything into Google Photos. He pays for the extra storage, and then I download it and do what I'm going to do for him for that. So it works for some people, just not my favorite.
Got it. Got it.
And that's the great thing about organizing your photos is there is honestly not one way to do it.
Ooh, okay.
Every project that I work on, every client that I talk to, we do things a little differently.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's setup is different. Like I'm all Apple, computers, phones, everything. And so is my whole family. But there's people where they've got an outlier who has an Android, you know, or I'm all Apple except my computer and it's a PC. And so, you know, there's not one right or wrong way to do it.
And that's the benefit of working with someone like you, is you can work in a lot of different environments. So we can come to you and say, here's what I got.
Right.
And then you can help us like, okay.
And we figure out what the best path is. What's the best way forward? What are the best tools for you and your technical ability? You know, because I have people that are like, well, I can barely open my phone, but I think I'm going to get Lightroom. And I'm like, no. That's way, that's way out of your, no. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
No. So, you know, yeah, it just depends, but there is not one way. So please keep that in mind. It's just like organizing your house. There is not one way to do it. And so you can't do it wrong.
Got it. You know? Got it. But you just need to do it.
Because yes, you need to do it. And every little thing you do, whether it's getting rid of duplicates, it's backing things up, you have made your personal library better.
Got it.
That's what you want to do. And the other thing is it's not going to happen overnight. So don't give yourself a hard time. I just can't do, you know what? I have 52 years of pictures. Plus I have all my mom's pictures. I have both sets of grandparents' pictures. I have, everything that's come to me. And those are lifetimes and lifetimes that it took to take those pictures.
Right.
So, I mean, I still have a full closet of pictures that I personally have to go through and I have to do stuff with that are my own personal pictures. So, it just doesn't happen overnight. So you have to give yourself some grace too.
You probably need to hire someone. Like, I mean, only in the,
honestly, have thought of that before. I have thought about that.
Yeah. Just because it's hard to do your own stuff. I mean,
it is. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I can't look at another picture.
I don't want to do that anymore. Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned duplicates, and a question did come through that there are tools to find duplicates on your computer locally. Are there find tools to element in duplicates in Google Photos? I don't know if you know that.
I'm not sure about Google Photos. I use a software called Photo Sweeper. I think you can find it in the App Store on Mac. It's Mac only. There's another one I believe is called Dupe Guru that I think is both Mac and PC. I'm not 100% sure. I know I can use those with an Apple Photos library, and I can use it with a Lightroom catalog. I'm not sure about Google Photos.
Right. Okay.
Because quite honestly, I don't work in Google Photos that often.
Right. Got it. All right. Cool. All right. So talk to us about if you could do one more thing to be fearless with your photos, one thing, what would it be?
Share them. Get them out. I call it getting it out of the box, because we have print photos.
Yeah.
They're sitting in a box. Yeah. We have photos on our phone.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of a box, right? Yeah. So, ways that I use them, I print them. These are pictures. Actually, my friend Linda made this for me as a Christmas gift. She went on Facebook and found some of my favorite pictures and printed them. And they're it's not a calendar, but it's like a whole stack of pictures. And I keep it on my desk. And every day I change the picture.
Oh, that's super cool. What a great gift.
Print pictures out and get them framed.
Yeah.
It's a picture of me and my dad. I keep it on my desk because I love it. Doing things like having pictures on your phone where you can see them. I don't know if you can, that's not working very well. But
hard to see.
There's a picture of my dad who passed away 15 years ago and my daughter. So getting them out, making photo books, printing out your favorite picture and putting it in a frame.
Yeah.
My daughter is an archaeologist at Historic Jamestown. It's a really
Oh,
fascinating thing that she does. But they have an on-site photographer, and he takes these amazing pictures. And last year for Christmas, she took one of the pictures he took, put it in a frame. She probably bought it at Walmart and gave it to my husband for Christmas because we
okay.
watched her at that point, the project, we could watch it online, and we watched her doing this. And now we have this framed picture. It's like one of my favorite framed pictures that we have in the whole house.
I love it.
And it's special,
Yeah.
so doing something with your pictures, making a calendar at Christmas,
Yeah.
making a
Yeah.
photo book of, I literally made a photo book of holes we dug at the beach because
Oh,
my family goes to the beach every year since I was 5. We've gone to the beach, and my kids have done it every year of their lives. And there's a group of them who love to dig holes. Since they were itty bitty babies, we've dug
oh,
holes, stuck the kids in holes.
yeah.
You know, they're like, my 25-year-old daughter's like, you're bringing the shovels for the holes, right?
Right.
So I made a photo book of pictures of us at the beach
Oh,
and all of the
and
holes
all the
that we dug in
holes.
the beach. And yes, we do fill them back in if anybody worries
Yeah,
about that. I'm very
right.
militant about that. But yeah, so I think that's a fearless thing, is to actually use your photographs.
Yes, I love that. Oh, you're giving such great gift ideas, especially in the holidays. I
Right.
love, love, love. First of all, the holes we dug at the beach, like that's super cool. But I love what you described that your friend did. Like she went to your Facebook and pulled some of your favorite pictures
Mhm.
and then put them together in a little kind of
Yeah,
collection
it's
for
a
you.
wonderful little gift.
It's a
Yeah.
great gift. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, if
Love it.
anybody wants to visit my website, goodlifephotos.com, and I can put it in the chat. My latest blog is gifts, photo
Oh,
gifts.
perfect. Perfect.
So, I
I
mean,
love
the
it.
things that you can do with the photo these days are, amazing. You can have it
Yeah.
etched onto leather and make somebody a wallet, you know.
Well, I've seen that. I've seen like little cubes that you can like you turn and then it's a
Hmm.
different picture each
Right.
time you turn. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to us about, I'd be mindful of time. We've got
Right.
just a few more minutes, but I know there's some cool projects that you've worked on. So tell us like one of your
Yeah.
favorite projects that you've worked
I think
on.
one of the favorite projects that I worked on was a client in Georgia, and she brought me a bunch of pictures to scan, which we did. And then she told me the story of her mother. Her mother worked at NASA, worked on every single one of the space shuttle missions, beginning
Wow.
to end. Like that was her career, was working. I don't remember what she did, but she was involved. And so we had letters, we had pictures with astronauts. We had all of the patches, the mission patches that they get.
Oh.
Um, and we scanned or we took pictures of all of these things. And then we made a photo book of her
Mhm.
career. And her
Oh,
mom
wow.
passed away like a year or two before. So we did this right before Christmas. And then she
Mm.
ordered like 10 or 12 copies of the book to give to family for Christmas.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
it was just a phenomenal project because the history that was in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I love. I love the pictures that tell stories, and it's just, that remains one of my favorite things that I've done.
I
But I mean,
love it.
all my projects, I get to know my clients. I love my clients. I have clients I've had for 10 years, and we've done
Mhm.
all their organizing. Now their kids are getting married. So we're making guest books and slideshows, and her
Oh.
husband's turning 60. We made buttons.
Ah.
It's all sorts of, I help somebody with their biography. It's
Ah,
just getting to know my clients is really truly an honor, and being able to help
yeah.
them tell their stories and share their stories, because once your pictures
Yeah.
are organized, then you can share them. You can
Yeah.
give it to your kids. It's a wonderful legacy for your kids. Give it to your brother, whatever your situation is.
I love that.
It's a gift to your entire family when you do this.
I love it. I love it. You just reminded me, just made a note to myself and I introduced you to someone who helps to write biographies because I thought, oh
Yep,
gosh, like that's a great marriage for that.
absolutely.
But you have a great free gift for everyone as well. I saw Dorothy just put the link in the chat. So talk to us about what this is.
So this is my Your Photos Tell a Story guide, and it's a printable that just kind of walks you through things to think about when you're organizing your photos and you want to tell the stories behind them. The who, what, when, why, where, the 5 W's. And some of them are, you might think are simple tools like, why do I need a family tree? Well, quite honestly, when you're sitting down and you're overwhelmed, you might forget the name of your great great grandmother or your mom's second cousin who keeps showing up in the pictures. And
Right.
so it's kind of a tool to use. And then there are a bunch of questions in there that ask your family to get to know your family better.
Mm,
Like, what was your favorite memory of school when you were in second grade? What did you
mm.
like to eat for a snack after school when you were little?
Yes.
Um, Things that really help flesh out the stories. And there is one page in there that's a photo story page. So I have a picture. This is the story of this picture,
Got
and
it.
so for the really special ones to capture that information.
I love
Um,
that.
and then there is also an add-on to that is where to find your photos. Because that's like the
Okay.
first thing when you get ready, you're like, I'm going to organize my pictures. I don't know where they are. Right.
Right.
And
Right.
so, physical things like, so there's just things to kind of get the juices going in your brain, to physical pictures, but then also digital.
Yeah.
I have a client that we gathered, oh, I don't even know how many hard drives and everything we gathered, got it all together, got it deduped, working on organizing it. And she goes, oh, I just found a box of CDs. I'm like, okay, send them to me. 111 CDs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Downloaded them all, deduped them against
Mm.
everything at 12,000 more pictures because there's always
Whoa.
more. That's it.
Yeah.
There's always more. And
More.
and that's fine. And that is
Yeah.
absolutely fine. But this, if you know what you have, mostly you can kind of make a roadmap of where you want to go.
Got
And
it.
that's
Got
always
it.
the first step in a big journey. And this is a journey.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. Yay. Yay. Oh my gosh, Andy, this has been so good. Oh, Andy, Julie said Julie has the upgrade package, which by the way includes a session with Andy.
Mhm.
And yeah, Julie, she can't wait to our VIP session. Yes. So yeah, if you haven't picked up the a power pack, the upgrade package yet, that's another reason to do it is that you get a session with Andy included in that, which I think I'm going to take you up on that too.
I'm excited. I already have several people who've made appointments.
Oh,
So
that's very cool. What
yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things that like I know I need to do. I get overwhelmed.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited for your giveaway to maybe just put some framework around it.
Right.
But also it's like honestly, I need help because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, right? So,
And that's a lot of my clients start that way. They want to do it themselves and they get overwhelmed. But I tell everybody, I'm like, look, I can help you a little, give you advice, help you plan what you want to do. I can help you some. Like I can do the scanning, you can do everything else. I can do it all. I can
I
take
like
the
it.
bin of completely chaotic photos, make sense of it, and give it back to
And
you.
give back. All right, I love
But,
it. That's
sometimes all
freedom.
people need is a
Yeah.
conversation and
Yeah.
some momentum and accountability.
Yeah. Well,
That's a
that's
great place
freedom
to
though,
start.
too, because I think I'll speak for myself. There's a perception in my head that I'm the one that has to do it because they're my photos and I understand. But
Mhm.
what I'm hearing and gathering is it doesn't have to be me because especially a third party is not attached emotionally and isn't going to get stuck in the, oh my God, I remember that trip. Like,
Right, right. We don't walk down memory lane.
right,
You know,
right. Yeah.
I have a client that I've worked with this when I've worked with for about 10 years, and she's like, you know my family better than I do. She goes, you're coming to the, because I've also done some, I don't do a lot of genealogy work, but I did some for her because she's such a good client. And I've met her brother and, we've talked about things and they're like, yeah, you're coming to the next family reunion.
And you'll know who everybody is. That's what'll
I'll
be
know who and
hilarious.
they won't know who
They
I
won't
am.
know.
I have seen their kids since they were born and now they're getting married and they don't know
Aw,
who the heck I am,
right.
which is fine. That's fine. Fine. I love it
Oh
though.
my
I
gosh.
love my families and I really, really do feel
Yeah.
honored that they trust me enough to deal with these precious memories.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Andy. We went a couple